the difference between trajectory and position, and how important trajectory is, how much more important it is than your position. Recency bias: if your value is increasing right now, then it means that you have to be popular at the moment. And by looking at recent trajectory, you are selecting for only the people who are trendy right now, which a lot of the time is all that we can remember. We can also romanticize where someone will be in future if they're currently hot stuff. You think about how high this person might climb. Maybe they'll get to the top. Maybe they'll go beyond the top. Humans struggle to realize that everything is temporary, including growth and decline. Instead, it's easier to label people as heroes and losers based on what we know of them right now, so that we don't have to predict a messy future. There's an old saying that there's 3 types of people on a ladder: one at the bottom, one at the middle, and one at the top. Which one is the best to be? The one that's still climbing. Interesting, right? I don't think it works just for status, but it works for possessions and achievements and wealth and sex and everything else. And it's not just how we see other people, it's also how we see ourselves. We know when we're moving up or down, when life is getting better or getting worse. We have this internal, altimeter, is that what it is? An altitude meter? We have one of those. We know where we were before in all of these different domains: status, money, possessions, achievements, education, competence, confidence. And we know we can predict whether things are going up or down. Becoming famous is amazing. Being famous is a mixed bag, and losing fame is horrible. There's just this sort of hodgepodge of lots of different things. Andrew Tate, one of my favorite insights that I think I've learned over the last couple of years: having things isn't fun, getting things is fun. There's something, I feel like it's a Kendrick Lamar line as well, that people don't love you when you've got something, they love you when you're on the way to getting something. And another way to look at it is any accomplishment is just a new higher bar for you to get over in future. So let's say in our own work that we do an episode that hits 1 million plays in the first day. Amazing. That's a very exciting new record that we can feel proud of. Almost immediately, wow, that also means that every video in future is now going to feel unimpressive until we hit 1.1 million or more. And in this way, rapid increases in status are more a curse than a blessing. And this theory got co-signed by Dan Bilzerian, so you know it's legit. Even though we might want our goals and accomplishments to arrive immediately, maybe a smarter strategy is to actually stretch out the achievement of our dreams. We shouldn't wish for overnight success, because we would then need to be able to beat it pretty soon, or else we're going to feel like we're declining. Instead, slow, consistent progress is a much more reliable way to maintain satisfaction. So I came up with this idea of slow success strategy as a way of making sure that you're going in the right direction, of elongating out that journey a little bit more. So let's say that you got a pay rise and you were able to afford your dream car or one of your dream cars, but you're jumping from, you maybe haven't updated your car in a very long time. You have the opportunity, instead of going from total shitbox to the ultimate car that you've ever wanted, you have the opportunity to chunk that up. Maybe you could go halfway and take a bunch of satisfaction from that, because once you've got the dream car, what is there after that? Once you've got the dream house, once you've been on the holiday that you've always wanted to go on, if you have the opportunity of maybe making a couple of small jumps in between that aren't the massive leap to the very top, I think that you can stretch out that sense of progression. And, it's one of the reasons why you literally should pray to never win the lottery in some regards. It would be the most amazing and most terrible day of your life, because how are you going to have a better day than that? Given the fact that trajectory is more important than position. I absolutely think that this is true. Trajectory is more important than position. And given that, what you want is to always continue. You want to just have this very nice sort of slow, steady ramp up, and then you can just flatten out toward the end of your life. What you don't want is to have this huge spike up and then be like, all right, where do I go? I'm just floating in the stratosphere. Where do I go from here? And this relates to another lesson that I learned from Adam Mastriani, where he explains what happens when people sacrifice their happiness and their passions in order to achieve success. This is such a cool analogy he uses here. He says, this is an extra special type of tragedy, a tragedy that unfolds while everyone cheers. Strangling your passions in exchange for an elite to life is like being on the Titanic after the iceberg, water up to your chin, with everybody telling you that you're so lucky to be on the greatest steamship of all time. And the Titanic is indeed so huge and wonderful that you can't help but agree, but you're also feeling a bit cold and wet at the moment, and you're not sure why.